You have a meter, and for like 10 seconds-ish, your character is like a beast. Like, your character changes. I really appreciate that. But you've probably noticed that if I'm in heat like this, my timer goes down, but while I'm doing combos, it freezes, right? And now it starts going down again. That's something I'm wondering if it actually should be in the game. What's up guys, MainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always. People want me to do a season 2 wishlist, so I thought that could be a super cool video. I'm gonna talk a little bit about that today. I do hope you all had amazing holidays, like an amazing Christmas and Happy New Year everyone. I really hope this is a great year for Tekken and Tekken 8. Those of you who don't remember or weren't part of a gang, back when we played Tekken 7, vanilla Tekken 7 was not that good. It was just not that good. It was actually with Season 2, most people agreed that Tekken 7 turned into what it eventually was, the best Tekken game ever back then. I think Tekken 8 is better now, but, Tekken 7, vanilla, not so much. Season 2, fuck yeah, they fixed so many things with the system and the characters, and it just felt really good to play. And then with every iteration and every season, I felt it got better. Unfortunately, overpowered DLCs were always a part of Tekken 7. It's like with every new DLC, it was just so insanely broken. So they've done a better job with Tekken 8, I think. Not gonna lie, I fucking hate fighting Eddie and Lydia. I find them to be cancer. Just stance, rush down, mash, hate it. But I do like the fact that they're very unique. I appreciate that. But most of all, they're not fucking broken, right? If you learn those matchups, their tools are fucking mediocre. Not that good. Heihachi, insanely difficult, solid character. So already it's better than Tekken 7. Clive, of course, is the biggest question mark. I'm gonna talk a bit about the characters in this video, obviously. And we're gonna start with Clive, although I've discussed the character a little bit before. But something obvious to say is that with Season 2, would it be nice to see some system changes? Would it be nice to see, for example, better netcode? One of my biggest gripes actually with Tekken 8 is that the presentation is amazing, but I always felt 90% of the rage arts in this game, the rage art cinematic, is so fucking dull compared to a lot of other fighting games. Compared to Mortal Kombat, compared to like Street Fighter 6. Every single critical art in Street Fighter 6 I find is cooler and more cinematic and more oomph than what we have in Tekken 8. I don't understand this. This game is so good looking in my opinion, but they dropped the ball so hard on most rage arts. I mean, standouts to me are like Kazuya, Clive, Devil, Jin, Reina. They're great, but most of them are so fucking boring. And it's such a wasted opportunity. Like Brian, he could grab a steel beam and just tear it around their throat and put it in place, lock them down and that, and then start doing Gatling punches while laughing. There's just so much you could do with the personalities in this game, but they didn't do anything. Claudio could take out a pizza and start painting. There's so much you could do, but they didn't really do anything. What I would do with Season 2 is that I would actually reanimate a lot of those rage art cinematics. I think that would be a huge quality of life upgrade. But obviously better netcode would be nice. If with every season they could do more polish on the graphics, would be super welcome. I would like more customization items for free. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we can buy in the Tekken shop, but I would like more conventional customization outfits. I feel like it shouldn't be too expensive to just add more shit, but I don't know. I'd like to see more stuff. And as for system mechanics, a lot of people really dislike Heat, want it to be gone. I really like Heat. I like Heat Dash. I like what Heat Burst does as a defensive mechanic. I like how your character goes bloody roar. You have a meter, and for like 10 seconds-ish, your character is like a beast. Like, your character changes. I really appreciate that. But you've probably noticed that if I'm in heat like this, my timer goes down, but while I'm doing combos, it freezes, right? and now it starts going down again. That's something I'm wondering if it actually should be in the game. That's something that leads to heat being active an entire round, because you use the heat to do an enhanced launcher. You get the launcher, and then it freezes like this, right? And then, more heat stuff. And I feel like heat is so powerful that maybe it shouldn't freeze. If I commit to a juggle, maybe it should still come down, right? And that might lead to me doing a shorter combo because I still want my heat mix-up on you. Or you'd be a bit more reluctant when you're in heat taking a launch, because you're like, while he's airborne, my timer goes down. So you might just stick to doing heat strings on the ground, right? So I don't know, I feel like heat is really strong, but maybe it could be balanced out by the fact that your timer doesn't freeze when you're launching someone. Maybe just have it go down no matter what. That to me would be a good middle ground on heat. Like, I like heat. I think the heat mechanics can stay. Maybe do something in terms of minimizing the prevalence of it, and that someone can pop heat and then it, you know, they can keep it the entire round if they win enough interactions, or even through combos. Also, it's Season 2, and this is something I've been stressing since the launch of this game. I just don't like the tracking of heat smashes. I'm just not a fan of it at all. They've done a few things to try and fix this. Certain characters like Dragunov have had their heat smash nerfed multiple times. And the DLC characters like Heihachi, Lydia, and Eddie, good job. They don't have absurd amounts of tracking on their heat smash. But it still feels like 70% of a roster, though, as soon as they throw this, you just sort of have to respect it. It shouldn't be difficult stepping a heat smash. In my opinion, it's never made any sense. Because when I land this, you know, be it on your block, I mean, if I hit you with this, it's almost round over. You're gonna have a very hard time recovering. But then on block, I still get a free mix-up. Most characters, when you heat smash them on block, they do a stance mix-up on you. Or if they don't have a stance, they'll take like what, +7 up to, if it's at the wall, like +20. When you get wall crushed into the wall. When an attack is that strong, be it on hit or on guard, no matter how it connects, it's that strong, then in my opinion, I should be able to step it. That counterplay should exist. Jin is a great example of this. When he pops heat and he's standing in the mid-range, like here, you don't dare do anything because of the reach of this thing and the tracking. So you just sort of hold back. You just go, you don't do anything. Because at any point he pulls the trigger on this and it just blows up the entire fucking screen. I would just like to see a universal chopping, cutting down of any heat smash tracking. A perfect heat smash that should serve as the blueprint for all heat smashes is Heihachi's. It has very limited range and it's got no tracking. I wish every heat smash was like Heihachi's. But that's it for system mechanics. A lot of people want to see backdash improved. I don't know if I would want that myself. I'm unsure on this one. I'm sort of 50-50. I think the backdash you have is decent enough. I like that the sidestep is better in this game than in Tekken 7, and they want you to sidestep more. I've always felt that 3D movement is more interesting than backdash movement. In Tekken 7, it was too easy to... sidesteps were kind of weak in Tekken 7 when you contrast to Tekken 8. And it was so easy to just option select anything in the game by just backdashing. It was the world's easiest defense, to be honest. It's much more interesting seeing someone step well. But that's my opinion. Some people want to see backdash buffed. I just don't see that we need that personally. But again, I wouldn't mind them testing it out and then we see how it goes. But that's definitely not a must in my opinion. And then in terms of characters, Alyssa, Destruction Mode, I would nerf. Destruction Mode is her chainsaw stance. There's too little counterplay, the frames are too stupid, the chip damage is too stupid, it needs toning down. These characters are fine. Brian is one of those characters a lot of people hate and think he's OP. He's definitely not. He's way too hard to pilot. You can watch the best Brian players in the world. Ni, Jimmy, that's Mr. Naps, Bilal from Pakistan, Low High from Korea. You can watch any tournament where they play and they take it up the ass to the real top tiers, or characters like Claudio who take half a macaroni to play. If I nerfed him, I would tone down tracking on Requiem. I would make Incinerator String track less in general to both sides. And then the question is if Core Circle back 1 should get reduced frames, going from maybe +5 to like +3 or +2. Damage should stay though, in my opinion. Claudio desperately needs nerfs. I think his Heat Smash should be -15. It should not be -14, considering what it does for him. I actually can't believe that Lee was the one that released with a -15 low Heat Smash when it should be Claudio. It should always have been Claudio. I also think his DP is super dumb when he's in Heat. I would like to see it go from -2 to maybe -8 or something. It's just too dumb. It does too much. Devil Jin, I think, could do with a buff, but buffing him scares me a bit because I feel like that character could so quickly become giga toxic. I don't know if I would want to buff his poking though. I like that he has weak poking. I wish they would do something else. Maybe even more setup utility or something like that. So I would continue the tradition of what we're trying to do with him in Tekken 8. I don't want him to go back to let's making more like Tekken 7 with good pokes. Dragunov, I would want to see nerf. Sneak 4. Fengwei needs nerfs. Maybe nerf back 3. It's complicated nerfing Fengwei. I would just say nerf in general. He's fine. Jack could go with a buff. Oh god, I forgot the fact that might as well say straight up here that we know we're gonna give everyone new attacks. Every single character in the game is gonna get a new attack in Season 2. And this scares me a bit because you don't want to ruin the balancing you already have. And this is a very delicate thing. When you give everyone new attacks, it's so easy, I think, to completely fuck what's already there and working. So new attacks is super fun for everyone. I mean, I can't wait to see what they give Kazuya, for example. That's fun, more content. But it worries me a bit balancing-wise. But it's the best balanced Tekken game so far. And what clues you in on this is that when someone is low tier in Tekken 8, you're almost a god in Tekken 7. The characters you put in bottom tier on a tier list in Tekken 8, they're simply mediocre. They're not bad, they're mediocre. And then other characters are stronger, but that's it. Jin needs nerfing. Scourge should not be a counter at launcher, or it's -15 on block. Pick one. Demon Paw, reduced range yet again, please. Reduced tracking. Heat Smash, nerf it. 214, no counter hit property. And that's a fucking start. Thank you. June is fine in my opinion. Kazuya is fine. King, I would nerf down for 2-1. I would not make that Twitch confirmable. But at the same time, that would mean, I think, that you'd never see King again in competitive play. The few people who play him won't bother, and I think that would be sad because he's cool. Oh my god, nerf everything. Nerf everything and completely remove his heat mode. No heat on Kuma. Thanks. Lars needs a buff. Nerf. Just nerf law. And 111 should simply knock down into 4-4-3 when he's in heat. Thank you. Lee could get a buff, definitely. What the buff would entail, though, is I don't know what I would do to that character, to be honest. It's also a case of, like, if you buff his offense, he could quickly become super annoying. But I would buff Lee. Leo, oh, who gives a shit? Leroy is fine. Lily is fine. Oh my god, nerf everything. Downford 1-2 jailing has like always been there, but maybe it's time to remove it. And maybe remove down 3-4-3 counter hit. That shouldn't knock down, maybe. Delete this character. We already know Paul is getting a tailspin, so he's getting better combos. And that's pretty good, to be honest. That's a start. That's a good start. They've actually buffed his combos quite a few times now. Raven could get a buff for sure. Reina is fine. Shaheen needs nerfing. Maybe nerf his guard break. the charge up. Nerf the fucking safe power crush heat engager. I don't think there's a single one thing you can do to Shaheen. There are multiple things you need to tone down. But the guard break needs toning down. I think it's just too dumb. And the fact that it removes recoverable health is just bullshit. Like, go fuck yourself. Steve is a character I think is going to be fine once you nerf the other characters, the top tiers. I think he's still a bit too strong considering how brain dead he is. Remove a broken wall combo. Thank you. Xiao Yu, nerf her heat. Her heat is the most toxic thing in the game. It's literally the most toxic thing in the game. Hypnotist 50-50 is way too fucking dumb. Back-turned heat smash into 50-50 is way too fucking dumb. Why does it do 50 damage and give her plus 20 into Hypnotist mix-up? Like, go fuck yourself. Fuck you. This character shouldn't have better 50-50 than Kazuya. What the hell is up with that? Nerf his damage. If you tone down his damage to like 60% of what it is right now, this character would work, I think. He just needs to have his Tekken 7 damage back, and he's gonna be much less toxic to deal with. Zafina, my god, I don't give a shit. I think she's fine the way she is. Eddie, I mean, he's just bullshit rush down 50-50s. And he does that just fine, to be honest. And does okay in tournaments. Lydia is that gigantic pile of crap outside of her heat, where she does the most annoying 50-50s on you. Is it an unblockable or is it a mid? That's it. Unblockable high or mid. Really obnoxious heat, but outside of that, like a trash character. I would want to say they could buff her, but that would mean I would see her more in ranked, and I would never want that happening. But yeah, maybe buff her. Maybe. Huge buffs. Omen should launch again and be safe on block. And the launching Omen should do death fist damage into his triple electric heat bound, heat burst, heat smash combo. Like, it should be, yeah, it should launch. Nah, I think Heihachi is fine. I appreciate that he's neutral, is very difficult and strict. He's super difficult and he's not all that strong. I think he's a flawless character. He's perfectly balanced and I don't want them to change him. Launching Omen would be sick. Yeah, Ghosty it would be, but it wouldn't work in this game. His combos are too strong. If he had a launching Omen, he would one-hit KO you. Yeah, I think that would be it for what I want for Season 2. And then if they want to surprise me with like new game modes and features like Team Battle or online tag mode, I mean, I wouldn't cry. I would also like if we got more like super dumb party mode styles of fights, like Tekken Ball mode, but some other dumb shit. You fight like this, and every 10 seconds, taxi, you know, like a Japanese arcade machine, a taxi runs over Jin. And then 5 seconds later, it runs over Jin again, and he dies, and he can't be in Tekken 9 because he got run over by a taxi. Stuff like that, I'd really enjoy. Oh, and my controller died. Great. Okay, did Jin curse my arcade stick now? I'm so sorry I said that. Jin mains are hacking my PC. What happened? I literally start saying Jin should die and my controller stops working. Okay.